all for joining. I want to keep this really informal, just to give you a kind of quick run through on how to use the platform. Can I just check before I start? Has anybody signed up to it yet, or had a little play around, or is it completely new to everybody?
No, just QA.
Which one?
The live QA.
Yeah, so we've got everybody in the room that's on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're all on it. Have you started to upload a project, or is it more about just kind of signed up at this stage?
I have done some project from my previous job.
Okay. Brilliant.
Some PDSL, so driver diagram and all this. Yeah.
Oh, you're the expert then. You're going to be our champion. Perfect. So as I run through the platform, I'm mainly going to be focused on how you would upload a single project. There are other functions on the platform that you can do more detailed reports and stuff, but I won't focus on that today. But as I go through, if you've got any questions, just shout them out. I'm more than happy to spend a bit more time on anything that people are finding a bit tricky. So just to introduce LiveQI, in a nutshell, it's a... Whoops, my screen has frozen. 2 seconds. There you go. So it's an online platform for healthcare professionals like yourselves that are working together to deliver quality improvement projects. So the whole function of LiveQI is that you're able to upload projects, work on them online with your team, all in the one place, and to go through the IHI methodology for improvement from start to finish. So everything's kind of laid out in that way for you. So it's all based on the IHI model for improvement. So that's why you've got your SMART aim, your driver diagram, your PDSA cycles, and so on in that order. It's got a few other functions. So you mentioned you can do PDSA cycles and ramps on a SPC chart, which I'll go through in a sample project. There's a few other functions that will help you to share and collaborate and work on programs, which I'll touch on as well. And you can do project reports at the touch of a button, which I think is really quite handy as well. So this is a sample project. Some backup slides just in case the Wi-Fi was failing me today, but it's okay. So I'm just going to take you through so this is the platform. This is what it will look like when you sign up and log in. So this is basically your kind of personal dashboard, and it gives you an overview of everything that you're involved in on LiveQI. Mine looks a bit busy, but that's just because I'm an administrator, so I've got lots of requests coming through. But what you will see is you can upload your image, where you work. It'll give you an overview of how many projects are active, that you're actively working on, a breakdown of progress scores, discussion groups, and other projects that you're involved with. Again, I'll give you a breakdown of your projects here, any requests to join projects that will come through, your discussions, your dashboards, which probably won't apply to you. So it's just a nice little overview. What you can do as well is you can pin any projects of interest to your personal dashboard. So, for example, say you're working on diabetes and you've noticed or you've been in touch with someone up in Manchester who's working on a great diabetes project. You're not directly a team member of that project, but you'd like to keep an eye on it and just kind of learn from it. You can attach that to your dashboard and kind of have a collection of projects that you're interested in and interested in collaborating on or shared learning, and I'll show you how to do that. So on your personal dashboard, if you want to go to your profile page, you would click this button here. So this is what people will see when they search for you on the platform. So again, it just gives a little overview about where you work, what you're involved in on the platform. You can edit this profile if you wish. So again, if you want to put your contact details up there, add a telephone number, you can do that. Again, just remember to save. So, and just to tell you as well, before we moved on to what project looks like, up in the top right-hand corner here, you will see, if you click on your little picture, you will have a link again to my profile, change your password and so on.
Sorry, I think we've just lost the screen. Bear with
Okay,
me.
no problem.
There we go.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that okay?
there we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's back.
Can you see my little arrow when I'm pointing? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So this little bell button up here is where you'll receive your notifications. So for example, let's say Zenobia has created a group for you guys, which I think Bianca already did. You would get a notification up here, please join this group, and you would review or accept and so on. So that's where you will get notified of things. You will also get emails through as well asking you to accept or decline invites. So if you go to the left-hand panel, so over here, this is how you navigate throughout the whole platform. Click on projects. So this is where you're mainly going to do your main piece of work. So again, well, by default, when you click on projects, you will have active and my projects ticked up here. That will show you all the projects that you are a team member of or have created. So they're your personal projects that you're working on. If you wanted to search for other projects, so let's say you want to see what else is going on in Newham, for example, I'm not sure how much is, but if you click on My Organizations projects, just unclick these ones, you can search for any keywords up here. Let's go diabetes, for example, and you will get all the projects that come up with diabetes down here. You can also filter your search. I'm not sure, Join Me is not letting me. Sorry, let me move this. So this little filter button here, that will allow you to filter all the projects across the country, so not just within UCL Partners region. So again, if you're looking for diabetes projects in, I don't know, let's pick a trust or something, for example. So you can filter by organization. So let's say Royal Free has quite a lot of projects at the minute. So take that.
And as an example, can we go through one of the Champions projects?
Yeah, of course. So let me just untick this.
What did it?
Do you want to call out the name of it or?
RPS.
So RPS. So
Asthma cream.
if you
Public.
QI.
Yeah. This one. Yeah.
Okay. So again, that just came up with a keyword search. I think Bianca set up a group for you guys, so I can help get that set up a bit better so that you can have an overview of all the projects within the collaborative. But we can discuss that after this webinar. So yeah, so here's an example project, which is really well filled out, which I'm glad to see. Yeah, so you've got your project title up here, you've got your progress score. Again, what is the problem? Why have you done this project? Rationale, smart aim, tags, and so on as well. Let's see. So actually, do you mind if I just go into a sample project just in case? I'm just afraid I'm going to
Yeah, of course.
something here by mistake. 2 seconds. But yeah, that looks great. It's just, the other one is I've got example SPC charts and things to show you. So actually, while I'm here, I said the left-hand panel is where you navigate. When you click on projects and go into projects, this little thing up here will appear. So you will use this to go through your individual projects up here. So I'm just going to go back into the general project page. So if you want to start a new project, it's as simple as clicking this button here. This will give you some prompts. So again, what I showed you on that general page, what is the title of your project? Who is involved? So in this case, you might want to invite people to join you. So just click invite and manage members. If I want my colleague Ratchner, for example, join me. Type in her name, click the little plus button. And it should appear up here.
Lost.
There we go. So when I X out of this and save, Rational will be sent an invite to join this project. If you want to make her an admin of the project, so again, so that she can invite users and do a bit more of the functionality with the project, you can just, sorry, I'll just go backtrack there a minute. Oopsie daisy. So beside her name, you've got a little settings function. You click on that. This drop-down menu, don't worry about that. It's not really relevant. I'd just keep it as member, something standard. So at the minute she can view a project, she can edit the project, she can't admin, which means she can't add new users, she can't delete the project, that type of thing. So if you want her to be an admin, click on that. Want to add an organization, so if you wanted to add new MCCG or a different GP practice, again, you can do that. So again, just add this little plus button. If you want to add a group, so there we go, QIC champions, add them, same goes. So X out of that. What are you trying to accomplish? What is the problem? What is the rationale? What is your SMART aim? And again, once you fill this out, you can edit it at any time when you go back in. What is the project about? So don't worry about linked priorities for now. That's something we can set up at a later date if you would like. So that's about linking to organizational priorities. Tags, I would suggest if you're working, whatever project you're working on, that you add a few tags. The reason being, it just makes it a bit easier for people to search for your work and vice versa. So again, diabetes, dementia, do hashtag MattNeo for the MattNeo Collaborative, that type of thing. Start date, end date, location, who can view this? So this is quite important. So this looks at the privacy settings of your project. So by default, for kind of governance and data protection reasons, it's set to only members can view. And what this means is that only team members of that project can view this project. So if, for example, a GP practice sets up a project on this and Zenobia wants to go in and help support them, but only members can view, and she's not a team member, she won't be able to see anything other than the title of the project. So what I would suggest is that you change this, everyone can view, so that everyone can go in. It doesn't mean they can edit, it only means that they can view the project.
Hi Emma, I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we invite people who doesn't have any account in LiveQI at all?
No, so they would have to sign up to LiveQI.
Oh, so
But what you can do is, sorry.
Yeah, tell me please.
Yeah, sorry. So they would have to have an account with LiveQI, but if they don't yet, sorry, 1 second. My arrows here. So let me go back in here. So invite and manage members. So any users that have already signed up to LiveQI, you would search in this box. If they don't have an account yet, what you can do is invite someone new to LiveQI. So put in their email address, subscription to license. Don't worry about that. It's optional. So just put in their email address here. They will receive sorry?
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Yeah, so they will receive an email saying you have been invited to join this project, but you first need to set up a user account on LiveQI. And it's free for anyone within our partnership to sign up anyway, so, but they would have to go through that process first. Is that okay? Does that answer your question? Okay, perfect. So once you've filled out those details, you would create the project down here. I'm just going to cancel out this because I have a sample project to show you guys. So before I go into this sample project, just to tell you, so I know this is not obvious and I'm hoping to change that, but there's this little list button beside Start New Project. When you click on that, you have the option to start a personal project. So what this is basically a project where you can, basically a sample test project where you can play around with the system, make as many mistakes as you want. It's only visible to you and your account, so even I as an admin can't see anything. It's not shareable with anybody. It looks the same as a normal project, but it's just a chance for you to get to grips with the system, and yeah, even if you want to work on a personal project, that's completely fine. You can do it in here. Okay, so into reducing pressure sores. Okay, so here's a sample project we've set up. First thing to say is that when you go into your project, if you want to change anything, you have to make sure you go into edit mode. So click this edit button. Sorry, it's just been a little bit slow for me today. So once this goes into edit mode, again, you can change anything you've inputted already. And then you will have to, so once you make any changes, you have to remember to save or any changes will be lost. So hopefully it will behave for me in a minute. So just to go through a few of the details while we're there. So again, you've got your title up here. You can do status updates. So if you're working with a team on this project, you want to give a little update every week or every 2 weeks saying, project's going great guys, thanks so much for your help, how about we look at this next? Then you would put it up here and you can show some previous statuses here as well. So not something you could do. Title, you can have reports. So sorry, I'm just going to refresh this page, see if it does the trick. So I'll show you how to do project reports. Again, we touched on all this. So what was the problem, rationale, smart aim? They have a tag for prevention and pressure sores down here. Linked priorities, enjoying work. Again, you don't have to worry too much about that. The privacy setting I talked about earlier is over here, so you can change that as well. Another thing I would add is that they're not very clear to see, but there's these little grey information buttons beside some of the functions, and they'll give you extra information about what this means, how it could be beneficial. You've got the status of your project, your start date, your end date, your progress score. So the progress scores go from 0 to 5. They're based on the IHI model for improvement as well. So if you just click beside progress score, it will give you a little index about what kind of stage your project is at. So when I've spoken to people before, a lot of people kind of assume that the platform will update this based on the amount of information you fill out. So just to highlight that this is something you have to do manually and work on and discuss as a team. So it could be a good way to track your different projects that you're working on with the various GP groups. And you can change that and have a kind of overview about who's at what stage. Again, if you want to add team members, you go in here. So once it goes into edit mode, it's not behaving for me right now. It'll look exactly the same as what I just went through with you. Alright, let me try this again on this different tab. Is there any questions on anything we've covered so far?
No.
No? I do have screenshots if it's not behaving. Sorry.
Frozen.
Yeah. I wish we were frozen.
Yes.
Emma, the air conditioning here is broken, so we're in a
Oh, no.
sweltering room. Yeah,
It's boiling.
it's really hot.
Oh, that's the worst. Are you all at Newham at the minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, this is not working for me.
Alright. I think we need to play around with this and see how it works.
Yeah. I think when you start to input even a very simple example, then you can really play around and get the hang of using, especially like the toolkits, the drive diagram stuff. And
Do we have time now?
yeah.
Can she show us a little of driver diagram? I think that's...
Yeah, so I think Emma, when Emma logs in, Emma, could we move on and just actually have a look at some of the, have a look at an example project that's got a driver diagram and the PDSAs on it?
And how to
Yeah,
complete
so this one does. It just wasn't behaving there for me.
Yeah, no worries.
But just two little things I just want to cover on this page before we move on. So if you want to do a report on a single project, there's a little PDF button up here, so you just click that. You can run a detailed project report, which will give you your full aim, your driver diagram, everything in a PDF. You can do an overview, again, which you can edit and just give the kind of main highlights. So that's something that could be quite useful if you're going to meetings to take with you. If you want to delete, just press this button. A request will go through to me, and I can delete it for you. So when you're editing any page, go into edit mode, make your changes, and then make sure to save so you don't lose anything. So that's kind of it from the general page. Again, to navigate through your project, go on to the left-hand panel. So the next stage is your driver diagram. So here's an example of a very colourful driver diagram. They gave it lots of new colours when they updated the platform, which is good. So first of all, to export as a image or as an image with legend, just press this button here.
Which would be really good if, in fact, if you had a little play and printed out one to bring to the next session, then we could all sort of compare what we've done.
You can edit that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can contextualize to your one.
And also color linking, you know that link?
Which link?
You know that line?
The lines, yeah.
The code and how to change it.
Yeah.
I'd like to move.
Emma, could you show us a real-time example of adding a box with lines?
Yeah, of course, yeah. So there's just the image that I generated there, just to show you. So again, you need to go into edit mode first. Here we go, and then it'll change, so it'll look a little bit different.
Okay.
So it'll start off with, so your aim has been inputted in the previous page, where it said aim or smart aim. So that will already be here when you come and start a new project. You'll then have a little plus button here to create your primary drivers. So if you click the plus, you see another one popped up here. Where's it gone? Sorry. So this blank one popped up there. It's black by default, so let's do a test one here. To change the color, just click on choose color. Let's make it blue, and again you can make a legend for your colors, which I'll show you in a minute. So let's make that blue. If you want to make a secondary driver from this primary driver, again click the plus. If you want to make a change idea from your secondary driver, click a plus again. So that's how you make a new one. If you want to link them up differently, so again, I'm not sure who said it, but someone asked if I could go over linking to different drivers and so on. So the way you do that is you can see the little kind of pin button here. So that's a change idea. So let's just click on that pin button. So at the minute, this change idea is linked to new devices and techniques. So this is a secondary driver. If I want to link it also, so maybe it's also relevant to link this change idea to another secondary driver, the timing of checks. So all I have to do is click this pin, and then it links it up for you. So again, if I want to link it to another one, so it's connected to this one, and I also want to connect it to this one, then click this pin as well. And if I want to remove one, just click X. So that's how you would link up in various ways. Again, you can do the same with secondary drivers to primary drivers as well. And what's not possible to do at the minute, so when you create a primary driver or a secondary driver and so on, it will stay in the order that you created it. So I created this one first, so obviously that's going to be first, monitoring the second, prevention is third. You can't change that. But in the next few weeks, they're going to be introducing some developments so that you can kind of click on this and drag and drop it where kind of makes sense to you and so that it's not as messy. So that will be coming. You can't do it yet, but it will be coming quite soon. So then the bottom, you can see your legend for your colors. So if you click on Manage Colors, save here. So let's make a pink one. Let's say this means high priority. So again, it's up to you. You can make this as simple as you want. You can keep it all one color or kind of categorize it if you want. So click that, click done. Then you choose a color. Again, I can make a high priority. So just as simple as that. I'm going to cancel this just because I don't want to save these changes. Does that make sense to everyone, the driver diagram?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think
Okay,
it's best
perfect.
to play with it first. Yeah.
Yeah, I think just to echo what Zenobia was saying, I think like any kind of online or digital things, until you kind of go onto it yourself and play with it a bit, it'll make a lot more sense. It's quite a lot to take in.
Hi, Emma.
Sorry?
Can we draw process map on this? I couldn't find any process
No,
map.
unfortunately you can't, no.
We can't.
But you can.
Can we upload a manually drawn
Template,
process
yeah.
map within our project?
Yes, so there's a space, if you look over here, for documents. So again, you can upload any documents in which and kind of keep it within that project folder.
Okay.
Okay. But you can't do a process map on this, unfortunately. Yeah, so that's the driver diagram. Then you move into your PDSAs. So if you want to create a new PDSA, you click on this button here. Again, you do the title, change idea. So this is something I found that people have difficulty with before. So they tried to create a PDSA cycle, but they haven't filled out a driver diagram yet. So you need to have uploaded your change ideas onto your driver diagram before you can do PDSA cycle. So in this way, it just tries to encourage you to stick to that kind of methodology, I guess. So, but once you have your driver diagram set up, pick your change idea. So for example, introduce new beds. Again, fill out your details, so your title, what's your objective of this title, when's it going to start, who is going to be accountable for this, where's it going to happen, and then start to fill out your planning notes. And so another thing I really like with the PDSA cycles is that you can add tasks to different people. So again, this just gives people a bit more ownership and accountability, I guess. So any of your team members in your project, let's go with my boss Rachel, let's give her a due date. She has to complete a task form by this date. And again, that just lists the different tasks for that PDSA cycle. Predict what will happen when the test is carried out. Again, this is just following the PDSA methodology. If you want to add a measure, you can. Again, these would have to be set up beforehand on the next page. And then create your PDSA ramp. and then that'll do it for you. So let's go into an example. So this one. So it'll go onto a page that looks quite like this. You've got linked secondary drivers, which you can do if you wish, but the change ID it's linked to is reduction in purchase orders. Oh yeah, so it's this one. So let's click on your different ramps. So you've got your objectives, your plan, which you've filled out some of it. You've got your measures, which we'll create on the next page. And overview that. Then you've got do, study, act. Again, you can fill out the notes from these pages. Don't forget to go into edit mode so you can fill out the notes. So you can see in this example that they've completed multiple PDFA cycles. So this one was completed. They have the notes for that, and they went on and refined their testing as they went on. So let's say, for example, you've completed one PDFA cycle and you want to do another one and test out something a little bit different. You would click Add PDFA cycle. Say this is version 2, version 3. What's the objective? Do you want to keep all this the same and then create your PDFA cycle? That will create a new ramp, but it will still keep the information from the first PDFA cycle so that you can look back on that. And then you just click cancel. Any questions on PDFA cycles?
No.
No, we are fine on that.
Okay, cool. So next one is measures and charts. So this is what I find people really like about this, because it just makes putting data and spotting variation a bit easier. So if you want to create a new measure, again, cycle, pick your measure, so it's an outcome, a process, or balancing measure. What's not there at the minute is space to add qualitative measures. That is coming in the next few weeks as well. Operational definition, data collection plan. What type of chart is it? So is it a run chart? Is it a SPC chart? What type of SPC chart is it? If you're not sure, or you need kind of clarification, you can click on this button here. It'll give you some indication about which chart type to pick. Frequency, so is it yearly data? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? If you don't know, you can add in custom or unknown as well. Link drivers, so if you want to link a measure with a specific aim or primary driver, you have the option to do that. So again, you would create your measure, and that would start your chart. The one thing I would mention is that I know in QI we usually start with run charts, so it's got only a few data points, and then eventually the hope is that we progress to an SPC chart. Currently, if you start with a run chart, and then you want to move up to, for example, a night chart, you would have to recreate. So you would start with a run chart in LifeQI, then you'd have to go back, create a new chart in an eye chart. You can't just convert from one to the other. I'm trying to work with developers at the minute to make that possible, but you can't do that at the minute. So just to be aware of that. But what you can do is you can copy and paste your data points from Excel if you have them there, to make it a bit quicker and easier to get your data on the platform. So I'm just going to cancel out this and show you an example.
Hi, Emma.
Yeah.
Can you please show an example of how we can copy and paste a data set from Excel?
Yeah, sure. So let me go into this one, for example. So this is a measure that's already been set up. You can see there's lots of variation here, which I'll show you that in a minute. But if you want to add, actually this is an aggregated chart, I think. Okay, so I'm going to go into this chart here, view chart. So this gives you an overview. Here's the chart, here's all the variation, all your notes, and this is your data set basically down here. So this is monthly, I think. An SPC chart, it's got count and total. So if you click edit, again with everything. So what you would have to do if this has been set up previously to have the time period every month and account in total. So you would have to have it set up in that way in Excel as well before you copy and paste. But if you wanted to add row, you would just, let me open Excel so I can show you.
What?
So you literally just copy and paste into the cell. So here, so
Oh, it's just
The
one.
part of the 365, yeah.
Okay.
okay, let's just do an example here. Whoops. Okay, so copy, paste. So again, it's saying invalid because it's got 3 rows and I'm trying to input 2. So I'll give you, I'll just go on to another one just to show you an easier one. Here, chart, edit.
Oh, it need one value only. Okay.
Yeah, so if you had a date in this format, and just account in Excel, copy in Excel, click paste, then it'll just come up basically. And when you save, it will reorder so that all the dates are in synchronized basically.
Okay.
Okay, so close. I'll just show you the other chart because it's got more variations. So I can. Okay, so if you've created your measure, it will bring you onto a page like this. If you want to add a data source, which is basically your data, you might only have one data point at this time. That's completely fine. So your name of your chart. This is an eye chart. Add a row. Time period. So let's say it was, I don't know, 2nd of March. Value 4. Row 2nd of April. 5. Save. So again, view this chart. It'll look something like this. Obviously, this is not a good data set, but just to show you as an example, that's what it will look like. I'm just going to delete this. So, if you want to view your chart, once you click on here, again, you can see your chart. This is your data set down here. But just to show you, if you want to link a PDSA cycle, this is how you do it. So go into edit mode, click on any data point you wish to link up with PDSA cycle. So click on that. There will be a drop down for all the PDSA cycles that you've created, so you can click on whichever one is right for you. If you want to recalculate your control limits from this data point, you can do that. So for example, maybe you want control limits for your baseline and recalculate once you've introduced the change. That's an option. So again, just click on this. You can also add a note. For example, maybe you've identified some high variation on this day and you want a note on your graph to explain what that high variation means. And I think this is really valuable when you've got different team members trying to interpret the data and maybe looking back in time as well so you can remember. So again, just fill that in as well. So you see here, here's a note, here's a PDSA. It'll automatically pick up variation for you. So here you can see high variation. It'll say this is because 2 out of 3 of the points and so on. So it'll just give you a little bit of information. Here's an outlier, another outlier, and here's a shift. So again, it does all that for you. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. You can export this to Excel if you want. So if you want a backup of that or for any reason want to bring it to Excel, you can do that. You can export it as an image. So I'm just going to close that for now. Okay, that's kind of it for charts. Is there any other questions on that?
You know, on the chart, I think if any consecutive 3 times, if anything going down or going up, if it is consecutive, will that mark this system automatically? Like, this is an improvement here, improvement there, and if it is not consecutive, will it do it automatically or will it do it manually?
So it picks up variation, special cause variation, based on the rules from the model for improvement. So what that will do is it will tell you what type of variation that is. Obviously, the special cause variation indicates that something has happened, something has changed in the system that's not to do with the normal processes. So that could be an improvement, or it could be a negative outcome of the change you've implemented as well. So what that indicates is that you have to go back with your team, reevaluate what the data is telling you. Does this mean we've had a positive influence on the system or a negative? And what I'd suggest is that once you've kind of evaluated that, make some notes on the graph as well, just so you have a record of that. Does that make sense? So it doesn't automatically tell you, okay, now we've made a positive change or we've made a negative change. It just spots the variation in the system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so and then you have project discussion, so you can have a discussion board if you want. So if you want to start a new discussion, for example, you might want to look at project challenges. You can invite specific team members to specific discussions if you wish. Again, you just have to specify who can look at this, who's invited. Create your discussion. So within the discussion, it's basically like a chat box, like a forum. Oh, I don't have permission to do this apparently. So what you will see here is that you can talk to other members of the discussion board, and you can also upload PDFs or documents. If you want to share anything in particular, you can do that here. But you can also do that in documents. So like you were saying, if you do have process maps and other things like that, you can upload them here. So because I'm not admin of this particular project, I can't upload anything, but sorry, 1 second. Yeah, so this will save all your project reports. Down here, so add document or add a folder. So again, you can organize your things as well. So you want to add a document, description, who can view it, and then just choose from your desktop what you would like to upload. So that's kind of it for the project and how you would upload a project on LifeQI. Is there any questions from what I've covered so far?
I think we'll try, and if any problem, obviously we can contact, isn't it? Yeah.
Exactly. So I'm here for project support. If you want to just ring me up, no problem, just send me a quick email. Just another few things to point out that can help you get started as well. But there's lots of other features down here. I would say don't worry about that at the minute. You can have groups, analytics, programs, but just try to get to grips with the projects first. If you want to go back to your home page, just click this button up here. Just ask me, do I want to save? That will bring you back to your personal dashboard. We also have a chat box down in the right-hand corner. So wherever you go, there will be this little chat box here. That will take you straight through to the LifeQI team. So if whatever question you have, maybe you've forgotten how to change the color of a driver diagram or something, then just type in a quick message here and someone is always online and they can help you out pretty quickly. They also have the Learning Center. So, link here. So the Learning Center for LifeQI basically has articles on every section of the platform, so it will show you step by step how to add team members, how to start a project, that thing. So if you want to search in here, if you're having any difficulties, so let's go into driver diagram, for example. How do I create a driver diagram? and again, just step by step how you would go about doing that with some screenshots and so on. So that's really useful. But obviously I'm here for support if you need it. Let me just go back. One second. Yeah, so these are your kind of your go-to contact details. So it's free for all of you guys, anyone within our partnership basically to access it. If you do want any of your team members to get signed up, just ask them to go to this link and just follow the steps. Learning Centre can be accessed through this link, but obviously I'm here for any questions. Zenobia, I did send you a getting started on Life to White PDF. I'm not sure if you've shared it with anyone yet, but I can send it out to the group. It's just got some how to get started, some tips and tricks, and where to go to for support. I think that's quite helpful just to send to anyone getting started. But yeah, that's kind of it. I hope that was helpful.
Thank you.
Yes,
Great.
thank you. That's been great. Yes.
Okay, brilliant.
Thanks, Emma.
Okay, thank you so much. So I've recorded it, but I'll send you out the recording, Zenobia. Thank you
That'll
so
be
much.
great.